My name is Lucas Boyden, class of 2024. Welcome to episode 3 of our digital media and film Capstone Recap. This episode is titled Opportunities You've Already Embraced, which includes internships, jobs, and experiences, including athletics. I'm joined today by my co-host, Jules.
Hello.
And our panelists, Maya.
And Cooper.
Thank you for introducing me.
My question is, if you had to pick a specific moment where a figurative door opened for you, like on your journey, you know, as it connects to DMF or as it connects to something that you're doing now in a professional sense, could you identify what that door was or you know, what a moment was when a door opened? And it does, you know, it's obviously this isn't like super high stakes. It doesn't have to be the door, but I guess I was curious about if there were moments that you guys could identify where it seemed like, oh, you know, this is an opportunity that I can take and move forward with.
I think that's a great question, Lucas, and I actually have kind of an answer for that. I began at my time as a sociology major, and I recall it had been after I'd taken a class, Intro to Film, I believe, with Steve Papson, that I kind of thought, man, you know, this would be a pretty interesting thing to study and learn more about, you know, film. And this is prior to the digital media and film major being created. But I talked to some people and they thought the major was going to be created. So they figured they could provide me at least a, you know, idea of what classes I should take. And I was actually taking another course with Maya and Adri. And I thought, you know, this is a really good community in this major. I feel like I know these people. I see them around campus. You know, there was a film club that was, you know, starting back up, and I thought, you know, if I want to pick something to do over the next 3 years of school, why not pick something that already has a really good community, an open community where you see people, they discuss it, and that's constantly changing. You know, for me, it was a big focus in movies. So if a new movie came to theater, people would go to that, and there was, you know, more kind of connection. So I'd say that's the moment where I realized, you know, I want to pursue digital media and film, just because I saw that the community was really active there.
Totally.
I would say, yeah, that's what kind of pushed me in. And then as I learned more about it, I realized that it's full of great resources and really great people.
That's a great answer. Thanks, Cooper. Yeah, I think having our sort of tight-knit community in DMF has been awesome for me so far.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, Cooper, about like community in specific majors, just because I think that some major programs definitely have more of a tighter knit like group community than like others do. And of course, like community is something that's advertised as inherent to the St. Lawrence experience, right? Like that's something that's advertised when you come here. And it really, at least for me, shone through in this major 100%, you know, and just like, you know, like you said, like you see people, you know them, like they're involved in film club, they're involved in a bunch of different other opportunities on campus. And it's just been like great for me so far to be like, I can know everybody in this room. Like I know everybody that I'm graduating with, and I've known them for years or known of them.
Yeah.
You know, and that aspect of it is really cool. Like even last year, like I remember Cooper had made a comment once, like, if anybody ever wants to go watch a movie just at the American, let me know and I'll just go. And so one night I like really wanted to watch The Whale and I couldn't get anybody to go with me. And so I texted Cooper and I was like, do you want to go see The Whale? He was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And we went and just watched The Whale at the American. Like, you know, it's great that you can just have friends and people that you care about to do that with. You know,
totally.
That's awesome.
I will say, though, for that movie, Adri had already seen it, and she kind of mildly ruined it. She gave
That's
me
true.
A good analysis point that just sat in my head, and the whole film, I was like, oh, dang, I'm looking for this one thing she mentioned.
Now I can't, like, help but analyze this from the lens of Adri's experience.
The film major, me couldn't get away from that.
You wished you could have forget the conversation.
Yeah. And sometimes that's one thing, the community, you know, people are talking about the classes, after the classes, you know, oh, I'm thinking about taking this, or I've taken this. And I think some of the classes have corrupted my mind as to any time I see a new movie, I'm like, oh man, I wonder what, you know, shot angle that is, or this and that.
Sure.
And
that's corruption for you?
Well, sometimes I just want to enjoy the movie and not think of, you know,
that's
I wonder if that was, you know, After Effects or you know, what that was.
I think it applies to a lot of professions, to be honest. I mean, I know that's the case for me, like, in my professional life, in both of the things that I do, you know, DJing and audio engineering, they're both, you know, when you do it and then you see somebody else do it, you notice things that might bother you. Maya or Jules, do you guys have any answers about times when you felt like doors had opened for you guys?
I guess I have two answers. So like one in terms of opportunities and one in terms of DMF. So kind of a figurative door that kind of opened. It was my freshman fall, so during COVID, and I was looking for another class, and I found an open seat that kind of checked off the box of humanities credit, and I was like, okay, perfect, gen ed, get it out of the way, cool. It was history of cinema with Richard Jensef. My only in-person class my entire freshman year on campus, and that's when I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, like I learned so much. And that's when I was like, I want to be, this is when film and representation studies was a minor, and I was like, yeah, this is like definitely a minor I want to pick up. Like I had no idea at first when I came to SLU. And then after that class, I had taken more classes with him, and then I took a class with David Henderson, and then I was like, DMF is a thing, like it's brand new, like let's do it. So I guess like that kind of is like the door of history of cinema kind of got me in here. But then in terms of opportunities, I had a professor last spring that was like, what are you doing over the summer? Like internship wise, like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I have no idea. I was like, I've applied for some, I've had interviews, didn't get them, or like I didn't hear back, which is pretty common in the sports industry.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people. And then I ended up, there's like a local baseball team that's in a town nearby, and I emailed their general manager and was like, hey, like I'm going to be home for the summer. Like, is there any way I can get just a media pass? He actually forwarded my email and my resume along to the director of communications, and he called me on the phone one day. I was in the middle of class and was like, who's calling me right now? And so I walked out of class. I picked up the phone. He said, hey, this is Jacob from the Tri-City Valley Cats. Like, so-and-so forwarded your email along. Like, I want to offer you an internship for the summer as our team photographer. I was like, whoa.
That's awesome.
And I've never had so much fun working.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much fun. I worked 6 days a week for too many hours, but it was so much fun. And like, I've thought I wanted to go into football, and then the summer I worked baseball, and I was like, I don't think I want to go to football anymore. It was so much fun. I got to shoot sponsored content, team photos, like action photos. They put me in charge of doing like their whole team poster. They do like baseball cards, like collector's cards, and all of my photos of every single player that were on the roster were used. So I got like my own little signed pack. It's like photo by Jules Naclerio on the back.
That's so cool.
And it was so much fun. So my biggest piece of advice in terms of like getting those opportunities, like send an email. It's crazy what an email can do. Like
Totally.
I literally was like, hey, can I just have a media pass, please? And next thing I knew, I had a job.
And that's a great point. That extends to like, it extends so much
Anywhere,
farther,
yeah.
so much farther than just the context of,
Yeah.
of anything, within the course of this podcast. I mean, cold emailing, cold calling is a tactic that's involved in so many different industries or what have you. And it certainly does pay off. And it can be super discouraging when it doesn't initially.
Yeah.
But if you stick with it, the results really can be great.
Yeah, I used to send my dad, like I would apply for like these big jobs, like NHL teams, NFL, and they send you like the same generic, like, thank you for your application, but we decided to go with someone else. And I would just send my dad like the email that I'd get, and he'd be like, oh, well, it's fine. I remember being so discouraged like the beginning of spring semester, because I was like, Dad, like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't go back to like my normal job. Like, I need to like start thinking about a big girl job. And he was like, no, like, it's fine. Just keep like putting your name out there. Like, keep posting on your photo Instagram. Like, keep working. Like, you'll get there.
Yeah.
And it just like happened to work out. And I was like, never been so grateful. It was so much fun. What future opportunities do you think you want? Like, kind of in the realm, like DMF has obviously helped all four of us sitting here like pretty well. And just kind of like, what do you think your future opportunities are going to be, or what do you want them to be? Like, my dream opportunity would be to go photograph for the New York Yankees. Like,
Sure.
That would be a top goal, but
Yeah. That's a good question. Let me think. Like, I don't know. I think at least for me personally, like, there's a variety of different things that I could do. If I wanted to pursue journalism or radio journalism, like I definitely could. I've been prompted to apply to several different like student journalism, I guess, NPR like satellite stations in DC. But I haven't really like pursued that yet. I guess if I wanted to go the sports broadcast route, you know, like Jules said, like the sports industry is definitely pretty tricky to get into. But I guess like with my repertoire and with the skills that I have, and you know, I guess I have a couple of references from here and from elsewhere. I might just kind of try to do that, and you know, be a manager of replays for a specific sports broadcast or something like that. You know, or a camera person even. I think that'd be cool too.
Yeah, I know for me, I haven't found the niche that I'm looking to get into quite yet, but I think one of the pros of this major is it is a fairly modern major. You know, we're moving into it. We've been in a digital world, but we're moving even more digital every day. And I think that the way that we're taught how to, you know, adapt and learn new technology and the skills that we learn, companies will see that and they'll say, okay, well, this is someone who's studying something that is, you know, modern. It's useful every day, and I'm hoping to kind of leverage that in my favor. And I would like to spend some time as well after college, exploring more about, you know, cinema and film. And I think that techniques will give me kind of a good foundation.
I don't want to set my aspirations too lofty, but this is, you know, I guess where I see myself or what I want to be doing. Traveling around the world, designing audio systems, like bespoke systems for nightclubs and studios, and whoever else can afford it.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it takes to get there.
I think that's all the time we have here. I just want to say thank you guys for coming on the podcast. This has been
Thanks, Cooper.
such a fun time.
Thanks, Maya.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks, Jimmy Neutron.
Hey.
But that is episode 3 of the Capstone Recap, opportunities that we've had so far.
Yeah.
Make sure to tune in for episode 4, our last and final episode.
Last one, best one.